All right. Well, welcome to Summit Center for Spiritual Living, where we share universal good through love. And I'm going to turn this over to Michael, who's going to light our candle and explain what he's doing. Maybe.
I'm glad I have all this stuff right.
Well, you know that you knew that
Well,
was going to be the next thing.
Good morning, everyone. So what we're going to do here is we're going to we light a candle here. The candle itself is 2 wicks. The first flame we light represents that light of God that's within us, as us and through us. And the second wick I light is that one of community, that we shine a much greater light to the world, of which we do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And John, you want to lead us in a song?
Okay. Joy is wonderful. Joy in the morning, joy in the afternoon, joy in the evening, joy again soon. When we are happy, joy is how. Joy is wonderful. Joy is now. Joy in our homes. Joy in our work. Joy in relationships. Joy at birth. When we are happy, joy is how. Joy is wonderful. Joy is now. Joy in accomplishment, joy in getting done, joy in doing well, joy in having fun. When we are happy, joy is how. Joy is wonderful. Joy is now. Joy is now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Today our speaker is going to be Carol Landrick, author, practitioner, doctor of nursing, a lot of everything. But anyways, she's going to be continuing our series on the introduction to the science of mind, and she'll be talking about the way it works. So, which is wonderful. That's what's coming up. And I guess that would be the next thing. And we just go ahead and have Michael he's going to do the Science of Mind 365, and John will do a song, and I'll do the meditation. So
thank you so very much. Welcome, everyone watching online. We appreciate you being here. Again, please get in contact with us. We would love to find out more about you. You can just write me at my personal email address, which is pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com, and let us know that you're watching. For today, which is the 12th of January, the affirmative thought is, I accept the outpouring of Spirit. I accept the outpouring of Spirit. Say that with me. I accept the outpouring of Spirit. You can say that again. I accept the outpouring of Spirit. From the New Testament, from 1 John 4, it says, hereby know we that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he hath given us of his Spirit. Dr. Ernest Holmes' commentary says, how could we better explain this than to use the words of Robert Browning? 'Tis thou, God, who giveth, 'tis I who receive. Or Emerson, who said that we are beneficiaries of the divine fact. The thoughts of both Emerson and Browning were thoughts of acceptance and recognition. Like all men of great spiritual insight, they knew that the gift of life is an eternal reality, that it is our office to accept it. So pray with me. Today, I accept this gift of divine life and love that God has eternally given to me and to everyone. With deep gratitude and a childlike simplicity, I enter into the joy and the peace that comes from the realization of divine guidance. For I know that love guides my thoughts, even as it guards my life and action. I know that the eternal presence is really embracing everything. In this presence, I serenely and confidently rest, placing all my hope and aspiration in its loving care. In this love, I embrace the world and affirm that peace shall come on earth and goodwill exist among people everywhere. I also realize that I belong to the universe in which I live, and it belongs to me. It is the gift of God. I am unified with everyone I will ever meet, and they with me. For we are all the manifestations of the one presence. Gratefully acknowledging and gladly receiving this benediction from heaven, I live and love and accept life in its fullness. From Science of Mind 365.
We are life and awareness, love, caring, and art, true peace and beauty are in the heart. Hear the music, feel it ring, sounds of beauty, free to sing. If we agree together with a peaceful mind, the future will be better as we are wise and kind. Hear the music, feel it ring, sounds of beauty, free to sing.
And as we hear that music and enjoy the sounds of music and are enveloped by the music, just take in a deep breath with me Just release and relax and just let go. Let's take in another deep breath. And release and relax. And as we take one more great big deep breath in, just allow the chair to support you. Allow your body to be feeling supported. I like to think of it as the loving hands of God just lifting us up, keeping us up. For love and light, peace and joy, beauty, wisdom, wholeness, completeness, perfection, divine activity, divine mind is always present. For that is because Spirit is always within us, as us, through us, and surrounds us in everything, not just the individuals, but also the trees and the grass and the beaches and the water and the mountains and anything you can think of, the animals, the insects, the snow, the rain, even the fire. It's all there. And as we gather together and accept that we are one with all that God is, I now speak my word for the collective known as Summit Spiritual Center or Summit Center for Spiritual Living. And know that our prayers, our thoughts are with the people in California that are going through such harshness with the fires and being completely wiped out in some cases, except for their lives. So, and even at that, some have lost their lives as well. But I just know that the winds ease off, that they're able to get the fire under control, that each and every person that has been affected is now being lifted up in a special way by Spirit, and helping them through Spirit, allowing them to really see Spirit within them and around them. I also know for our speaker today, Carol Andrick, that her talk is good. It's very good, extremely good. And that the words she has are Spirit's words, and that it can be infused in us in a magnificent way, a way to not only see that, but also feel it. And also for Wayne, I know for Wayne too, that his continued healing is happening right here, right now, that he is getting better and better, and the situation also improves, no matter what it is. So for those who have anything other, whatever the challenge may be, that challenge is being met right now with a positive outcome, with love and joy, peace and comfort, wholeness and perfection, completeness. So with that, I give thanks. I give thanks for all the good. I give thanks for my own home, for my family and friends' homes. And I am grateful and thankful for those firefighters and the other people that are helping with those fires out in California. Grateful and thankful for their time, for their continued diligence. I give thanks for them. So I release my word into the law, knowing I have spoken my word and knowing that it is taken care of. And so it is, and so I let it be. Amen.
Hear the music, feel it ring, sounds of beauty, free to sing. Peaceful kind awareness, love, caring and art, true peace and beauty are in the heart. True understanding is in the heart.
Thank you, John. So as you open your eyes, please take a moment and also open your cameras and look into each other's eyes and see that wonderful spirit within each other. Then just feel it and know it. Always, I like this part of our service. I really like looking into each other's eyes. And, all right, we know Hannah and Tim are still there too. So, all right. I'm going to now turn this over to Dr. Carol Andrick as she talks about the way it works. Thank you.
Thank you. What a beautiful service. One of the things I really like about Summit Spiritual is the energy and how it builds from the very beginning and just feel it builds through the service all the time. And I leave always feeling very filled and just really good. Things really are in divine order. So it's my privilege today to talk about chapter 2 in the introduction, the way it works. I like to call it the how. And the way it works to me has always been very important, whether I am working on something and putting it together or taking it apart and fixing it in my physical life, as well as also going deeper into the how it works on in my spiritual life. This chapter is the shortest one of the 4 chapters. It is, I'm going to say, only 5 pages, but it is so packed with information that I would read it and I would reread it, and I finally got quiet and I said, show me how I'm supposed to do this. Every word is important. And I kind of got back a nice flush of energy, and with the feeling of, well, duh, if it's that good, then read it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make comments along the way. Well, I was going to make comments along the way. I guess they are going to come from spirit because my paper disappeared. Even better. Imagine that, the way it works. Well, and to me, listening is a very important skill that we have. And I don't know if you ever, when you read, you read out loud. I like to read the Daily Word out loud. I like to read the textbook out loud. There's something about hearing a voice to me that adds to the power of what the words are saying. The science of mind is not a special revelation of any individual. It is rather the culmination of all revelations. I never thought about that. I don't know any other text or resource that I have ever read that have said, hey, this is all of everything coming together. Rather, it is, people's point of view, what they have learned, they have discovered. We take the good wherever we find it, making it our own in so far as we understand it. The realization that good is universal and that as much good as any individual is able to incorporate in his life is his to use. It is what constitutes the science of mind and spirit. Wow, that's a mouthful. And I'm going to say it again, the realization that good is universal. In fact, good is all there is. And that as much good as any individual is able to incorporate into their life, as much as we can use, that is what constitutes science of mind and spirit. We've discussed the nature of the thing as being universal energy, mind, intelligence, and spirit. Finding conscious and individualized centers of expression through us, and that man's intelligence is the universal mind functioning at the level of man's conception of it. This is the essence of the whole teaching. Well, and I see Michael's just closing his book. We got the essence. There it is. Uh, yeah, and it's so simple. And Ernest has said it in many different ways, but I remember him saying it so distinctly in one of his talks. It is so simple that the simplicity eludes us. It is just right there. There's a universal mind, spirit, intelligence that is the origin of everything. It is the first cause. It is God. The universal life and energy finds an outlet in and through all that is energized and through everything that lives. Oh my gosh, whether we know it or not, it's there all the time. To me, it's realizing that everything we touch, everything we do, every place we are is all energy. It's all God filled. There is one life back of everything that lives. There is one energy back of all that is energized. This energy is in everything. There is one spirit back of all expression, and that is the meaning of the mystical saying, in him we live and move and have our being. And that's from Acts 17:26. But think about that. This energy, this spirit is in everything. So when you're dusting, which I need to do today, but it just is so clear, everything that I pick up has energy in it. It has spirit in it. And that also says very quietly, treat everything with reverence. Even the trash, even the garbage, we treat it with reverence. The life which we live is the universal life expressing through us. Else, how could we live? We have to have that universal life flowing through us to have physical life. One thought and emotion is the use we make, consciously or unconsciously, of this original creative thing that is the cause of everything. Therefore, we shall say that the mind, spirit, and intelligence which we find in ourselves is as much of this original creative God as we understand. That this is not robbing God is a self-evident fact. Since we are, then we are real and actual and have existence. And since we can reduce all of that down to a fundamental unit, we find that we have this proposition. Here's the proposition. There is spirit, or this invisible cause, and nothing out of which all things are to be made. Now, spirit plus nothing leaves only spirit. Hence, there is one original cause and nothing out of which we are made. In other words, we are made from this thing. This is why we are called the Son of God. Now, think about that. Think about what that is actually saying. There is only spirit and nothing, no thing. There's only spirit, and we are made out automatically from the time of conception, before the time of conception, even the sperm and the egg. Everything is of spirit. We now know that this is what we are because we could not be anything else. But we do not know how much of this we are. And that, to me, is the caveat. We do not know. We cannot appreciate how much of this we are. And that is one of the beautiful discoveries that we are privileged to make as we go through our many years on this planet, whether it's many or short, is discovering that, how much we are. When we see it as it is, then we shall see ourselves as we are. I remember in Bible study class when I was in high school, I remember our teacher saying, please remember, you are God, always expressing. And I remember sitting there and thinking, really? Really? You know, and of course, hey, what? I was 12, 13, and I'm thinking, God must not be too happy with me all the time. You know, I had really personified God at that point. And I thought, I am God always expressing. And that has stuck with me. It has stuck with me. And in very trying times, those words float into me. You are God always expressing. And it causes me to stop short, take a breath, and smile. There is spirit or invisible cause, and nothing out of which all things are to be made. Now, spirit means nothing, and I'm repeating this, leaves only spirit. Hence, there is one original cause and nothing out of which we are made. In other words, we are made from this thing. That is why we are called the sons and daughters of God. As you can imagine, I have that underlined like, wow. We now know that this is what we are because we could be nothing else. When we see it as it is, then we will see ourselves as we are. And that's not putting any blame on, that's not putting any condemnation on. That is saying we will see ourselves for who we are that radiant light. Hence, we shall find a better God when we shall have arrived at a higher standard for man. If God is to interpret himself to man, he must interpret himself through man, and the Spirit can make no gift that we do not accept. And that really goes back to when we have challenges in our lives, when we have difficulties in our lives. We have a choice, whether seeing it from a physical perspective. Oh no, this is awful. This means I'm going to have to do extra work. And we see the negative side of it when, if we just have that slight shift in consciousness, going from here back to here, we can say, oh, I get another learning experience. We aren't always happy with it, but to just realize that this is an opportunity to learn and grow immediately shifts the energy on it from a place of contraction to a place of huge expansion. Okay, let's go on. The soul of perfection is hidden within. The original life is infinite. It is good. It is filled with peace, and it is of the essence of purity. It is the ultimate of intelligence. It is the power. It is the law. It is life. It is in us, in that inner sanctuary of our own nature, hidden perhaps from objective gaze, nestles the perfect seed. It's in that inner sanctuary. And that's one thing, if you've ever done meditations with me, one of the things that comes in every meditation is going deeper, going in and literally going into that inner sanctuary. And once we get into that inner sanctuary, there's no bottom to it. We can keep going deeper and deeper, understanding more. And so I'm going to continue to do that. And when you go into your meditations, just allow yourself to go deeper. That is so important because the healing, the understanding all takes place in this inner sanctuary. In our ignorance of the truth, we have misused the highest power we possess. I'm going to say that again. In our ignorance of truth, we have misused the highest power we can possess. And so great is this power, so complete is our freedom. So absolutely the domain of law through it, that the misuse of this power has brought upon us the very conditions from which we suffer. Now that is a great key. I'm going to read it again. And so great is this power that we possess, so complete is our freedom in it, so absolute the domain of law through it, that the misuse of this power has brought upon us the very conditions from which we suffer, the very conditions from which we suffer. And I smile very largely with that, because here is that opportunity again, either to get upset or to say, oh, this is an opportunity to learn and grow. We always have that choice. It's never too late to make that choice. And I have seen people on their deathbed that get it, and they say, oh my, it's so beautiful. I never know. I know now. Or you can just see it by the radiance on their face. We are bound because we are first free. The power which appears to bind us is the only power in the universe that can free us. Now I'm going to read that again. We are bound because we are first free. the power that appears to bind us. It's only an appearance because the power, the energy doesn't bind us. Rather, it is the only power in the universe that can free us. And this is why Jesus summed up his whole philosophy in this simple statement. And here come the magic 8 words. It is done unto you as you believe. It is done unto you as you believe. Then the next question that pops into my mind is, do you believe? Can you say yes? And I believe that every person can say yes, because this is the mountain without the top, that we can go deeper and deeper into knowing and believing. The great teacher looked so deeply into nature that she, meaning nature, revealed her fundamental simplicity to him, that believe and that as symbolize heaven and hell. I'm going to read that again. The great teacher looked so deeply into nature that she, meaning nature, revealed her fundamental simplicity to him, that believe and that as symbolizes heaven and hell. And so we suffer, not because suffering is imposed upon us, but because we are ignorant of our true nature. That is so critical. We suffer not because suffering is imposed upon us. Our Heavenly Father never imposes suffering on us, but it is because we are ignorant of our true nature. We see see through the glasses dimly, but then face to face. As we go into that inner sanctum, we begin to have the cloudiness disappear from our eyes. So let's go on. The thing then works for us by working through us and as us always. It cannot work for us in any other way. It spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle, but it can become powerful to us only when we recognize it as power. It can only become power to us when we recognize it as power. We cannot recognize that it is while we are believing that it is not. This is another key here. We cannot recognize that it is while we are believing that it is not. We can't on one side say, oh, I feel so good, that was a great prayer. Oh, but I have to go out and I have to shovel the snow. We can't live in both houses. We have to select one. And this is a gradual process. It's a gradual realization, and it's never too late to begin that realization and start shifting. Hence it is written, they enter not because of unbelief. That again is Hebrews 4:6. We may enter in because of our belief, but we cannot enter while there is unbelief. Here we come to a house divided against itself. If we say we can only experience a little good, then we shall experience but a little good. But if we say with Emerson, quote, there is no good and no small to the soul that make us all, end of quote, then we may experience a greater good because we have conceived it. Therefore, our belief sets a limit to our demonstration of a principle, which of itself is without limit. I'm going to say that again. Our belief sets the limits of our demonstration of a principle, which of itself is without limit. It is ready to fill everything because it is infinite. So it is not a question of its willingness nor its ability. It is entirely a question of our own receptivity. And so I end this by asking you, and by saying to you, it is done unto you as you believe. That is the sum total of this huge book. And it is explained and demonstrated in so many different ways. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I enjoyed sharing with you. May you be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol Ann. That's always wonderful just reading through it. There's so much rich stuff there. And to know that the way it works is through the law and through us. And that is just magnificent. So I really appreciate you doing this. So anybody else have any questions or comments?
Yes, that was magnificent. So what Carol Ann was doing was that the style of presenting the lesson, it's called expository. That's the technical name that they use in the seminaries. But, again, explaining the word, explaining the written text. So we got a sample of that today. And I just thank you, Caroline. That was really just wonderful. And I really encourage, there's 2 more pages that are there in that chapter. So I encourage you, or in that section, the way it works, 2 more. And again, if you, I encourage you to do it the way that Carol Ann said, which is read it out loud. There's a difference. The New Testament says faith comes by hearing. So that's one of the nice things, again, sometimes by by going ahead and reading the text out loud, it makes it really opens up the text, because there seems, at least in me, there seems to be something that goes over a certain point with to get to the next point without really digging into the meat of that point. So again, thank you. That was great.
Yes, thank you. There's something about hearing your own voice reading. I mean, I'm reading this. I am saying this. There is an acknowledgement in that reading out loud that I think we don't value or recognize.
And John or Tim, looks like both of you have no comment, Tim? Okay.
No, it's just I was told that those 4 chapters are based on a 4-week class that Ernest Holmes gave, and then attached to the textbook. So that adds another level of importance to read each of those chapters out loud, because they are each summaries of a class which Dr. Ernest Holmes thought was one of the most important that he ever taught.
That's right. Can you imagine deciding without that introduction to start from? Can you imagine getting this book and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know about this. People, my book, it has a lot of extras in it, but it has close to 1,000 pages in it. And I'm like, oh, I am so glad for that introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
That was
Alright.
very well done. I studied Hasidism a long time ago, and the extremely conservative Hasid rabbis would, on the Sabbath, just sit and appreciate what's around them, even the doorknob or a piece of string, or as full of spirit. Just like it was said, it was seeing all of creation, even the garbage, as something to be revered.
Right. Well, thank you, John, and I'll let you go ahead and do a song then.
All right. One of the songs from my CD that we've known for a long time was actually written in 1980. What would that be, like 45 years ago? We've been waiting for this fall to pass away. We've been waiting for the darkness to subside. We are building the road of a new day. Don't seem to know whether to go or whether to hide. Are we too busy? Are we too stressed? Or don't we know what to do, who to be, or where to go? It's time to understand, find out where we stand. It's time to understand and do what we can. We're the first young sprouting of a new spring. We're making the garden ready for the crop to come. We're renewing our bodies and minds and everything with the power of love. It will be done. It's time to understand, find out where we stand. It's time to understand and do what we can. There's a brand new feeling in the air. It's a clean and healthy breeze blowing by. There are more of us than ever starting to care. Taking a nice deep breath before we fly. It's time to understand, find out where we stand. It's time to understand and do what we can.
Right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is this time in our service where we give you the opportunity to give. There are several ways. You can go to Zelle or you can go to PayPal, and you would go to ssc of Akron at gmail.com. That's ssc of Akron at gmail.com. You can give that way, or you can send a check with the word summit on it and to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio 44310. So with that, let's just take our gifts in our hands, right top over left, and just know that all that we have, all that we give, all that we receive is blessed in a very gracious manner, and that it goes to the work of Summit's Center for Spiritual Living. And it helps to not only the people, but the planet and people and everyone around us and through us and as us. So with that, I just give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Okay, how about some good, more good, John?
Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Good, more good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
Thank you. Time for announcements.
Okay, I am on during the week. I am on New Thought Media Network. If you want to find out more information, it's ntmedia.org. Also, just go on our YouTube page. And I'm going to let Dr. Carol Ann talk about the up and coming meditation class, which is coming up this coming Wednesday.
Absolutely. Opening into Presence is a 4-week course where we're going to be exploring our physical body and the different tools that we have been given to help enhance and expand our connectedness. And I encourage you to sign up for it. It's going to be fun. We're going to have lots of discussion and try different things out, see how they work. And 4 weeks is going to go very fast, but we'll give you really simple, easy tools that you can use during the day. And that, I think, is what we need. Just have the little things that we don't require any paraphernalia or anything. Well, you've already been given them because we have been given all our senses. So please come and join us. Um, the cost is a donation. So whatever you can afford is just the right and perfect amount for you to give. And we are starting Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So there's still time for you to contact Michael. And Michael, what you want to give them your contact?
Yes. So signing up here is easy. It's very easy. All you have to do is send me an email at pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. It's Pastor Michael, Michael, Mangus, Mangus, @gmail.com. And then, okay, so that's the sign up portion. So for the contribution or the donation, again, we've suggested an amount of $50 for all 4 sessions. But again, do not let money, this is a donation, so do not let money separate you from this class. We want you to be in the class. So if you want to be in the class, register first, and then if you can, go ahead and give a donation then. All right. So those are 2 separate things, but they're all one. So we want to see you in the class this week. So if you've been in the class in the past, or if you have not been, again, it's one thing to learn something, but it's one thing to embody it. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing over the next 4 weeks. We are going to be embodying 4 techniques that, again, that we probably already know, but we're going to practice them. And again, as group synergy, what we're going to do is that as we conform ourselves to that divine nature that we are, what happens is, again, that the planet does change. So this is not just for you, this is for the planet. So again, Pastor Michael Mangus at gmail.com. We're going to be starting 8 o'clock Eastern this coming week. Please get a hold of me, and what I'll do is I'll put you on the list and then send you out Zoom information, and then we'd love to see you in the class this week.
Hey,
Mine is yeswise.com, where you can find not only my normal programs, YesWise Insights and YesWise Inspiry, but also my Holistic Studies seminar now underway, with the first episode on first seminar being Holistic Natural Health and Wellness. And that is already, the first lesson is up, and the second one will probably go up today. So you find out some things about improving your health and being and staying healthy that you might not know.
all right.
Yeswise.com.
Thank you. Tim, did you have an announcement? No? Okay. All right. Well, with that, it is the time where we do a moment of silence. And this is time where we need to definitely bring into mind the situation in California, and other things around the world, but we just know that wind subsides so that the fires can be taken care of quickly and easily and effortlessly. So, and for anything or anybody else who may need some healing. So I'm going to ring us in and I'll ring us out. Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn so you can hear it. All right. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Hey, real and true. Life is real. Life is true. We are life, living as me and you. Joy is real. Joy is true. We are joy, living as me and you. Peace is real. Peace is true. We are peace, living as me and you. Love is real. Love is true. We are love, living as me and you. Living as me and you. Well, thank you everybody for being here. What happened? There we are.
Okay, sorry about that. I thought we both had to both do the same thing, and I didn't know he had to go first. So sorry about that. Well, anyways, thank you all for being here. Hannah,